Welcome to VSB News Online for Wednesday, July the 29th. I'm Charles Webb. Tragedy marked the pre-cup match holidays as a man died after being trapped under a forklift at the construction site of the Pink Beach Hotel. Police Media Relations Director Dwayne Keynes was on the scene and gives us this report.
At about 2:19, first responders attended a report of an incident that took place at Pink Beach. Now, it appears that some construction was taking place in the area and there was a tractor operator. Now, it appears that the operator fell over. He actually was trapped in the vehicle and the 62-year-old man was pronounced dead. Now, on scene, we have officers from the Forensic Support Unit as well as the relevant officers with the Bermuda government, and no further information will be given until the next of kin has been notified. We have officers from government's Health and Safety Department on scene, and they would obviously do an investigation and they will put together the cause of the untimely death of the 62-year-old man. We'd like to say at this point, the Bermuda Police Service extends our condolences to the family.
According to Fire Service spokesman, Acting Lieutenant Jamal Allboy, the Bermuda Fire Service dispatched appliances from Hamilton Station and Clearwater Station with a complement of 10 personnel. Another excavator machine on the site was used to first responses in getting the occupant out of the wreckage. The Bermuda Monetary Authority has announced that the amount of Bermuda dollars in circulation over the Cup match weekend will be $136 million. That's a 4% increase in last year's total of $130.4 million. The total amount issued to the banks by the BMA since July 1st has been $21.6 million. There are many thousands who will make their way to the Wellington Oval tomorrow and Friday to watch the annual Cup match. But there's another group for whom such a venture is not possible. We call them the sick and shut in. Cricket commentator Sean Tucker reflects on the importance of his audience and the pleasure he, Jason Ford, and Dean Miners derive from bringing the game to their bedsides.
Cup match, as you know, is an integral part of the fabric of Bermuda. And for those who aren't able to go to the match, it's vitally important that we're able to do our part to bring it to them. We're lucky that this year we're able not only to be bringing it over the radio, but to be participating in the television broadcast as well. So we have a good team. It's myself, along with Jason Ford and Dean Miners, and we're happy to be able to contribute to that part of the fabric, to be able to bring it to everyone who's not able to get to the game. People who are working, people who aren't able to get out and about, and I think it's vitally important that we're able to broadcast the game.
Do you ever get any feedback from people?
Sure, we get feedback all day. People are coming around, they're feeding us all day, which is an indication, I guess. Yes, that's right. But they feed us all day, they let us know, they encourage us to keep up the good work. And then even after the game or before the game, they're letting us know that they appreciate what we're doing. Those who can't get out, we'll see them in town or about, and let us know how much they appreciate the work that we're doing.
Now, those of us who watch it on television, we know we watch the game, but we never know how you manage to maintain the level of professionalism and also have fun and provide accuracy. How do you do that?
Well, I've been doing this since 1984, and so I had the benefit of learning from the master, from C.V. Jim Moorish. So, everything that I am able to do, I learned from him. And so all the levels of professionalism and the impartiality and the ability to have fun while you're doing it, I learned from him. So it's.
I mean, do you poke fun at the rather large ladies too?
Sure. It's pretty difficult not to, and see, the thing about cricket is that because cricket is such a slow-moving game that you have to fill the void. You have to fill those voids between balls, between overs, and so it's things like that help you to fill the void. When you see some of these jumbos, and I'm talking about the ones that are in the air, but you see some of the jumbos, or you talk about the food, or you talk about just the atmosphere that's around the ground, that just helps to fill that space.
Family holidays are being ruined virtually every other day as parents are discovering at the last minute that their children's passports are out of date. So, Minister of Home Affairs Senator Michael Fay has issued a plea and a warning on the subject.
I took the opportunity to remind the public of their requirement really to check passports as to whether they are close to expiry or have in fact expired. And the reason I brought this to the public's attention and to remind them is because I'm getting a number of requests from families saying, you know, their passports have expired and they're trying to go on holiday. And whilst I absolutely sympathize with that position, I have kids myself, it's disastrous for families to realize that perhaps their children's passports have expired. We are really unable to help in those circumstances. The only time that we are now able to issue passports on short notice in less than the 8 working days is if there's a bona fide medical emergency. The reason for that is we have brought to the public's attention repeatedly that we are starting now to follow the rules and requirements of the UK Home Office in respect of providing information, and we need to get the public used to those particular requirements. So again, it's really as a reminder to people, please, please, please check your documentation, especially during the summer period, before you book your flights. And make sure that you've given us enough time to publish and get ready your documentation for your holidays.
The Bermuda Hospitals Board has announced that if urgent medical care is required over the Cup Match weekend, the Lamb Fogo Urgent Care Center in St. David's will open from 4 p.m. to midnight on Thursday and Friday, and from noon to midnight on Saturday and Sunday. The telephone number there is 293-7700. Meanwhile, if your condition is serious, attendance at the King Edward is advised. But the Bermuda Hospitals Board reminds the public that the emergency physicians will attend to patients in the order of the severity of the condition, and that waits up to 2 hours for minor ailments are possible. The telephone number of the emergency department is 239-2009. The Bermuda Police Service are applying a broad brush to combat any antisocial behavior that occurs over the annual Cup Match holiday weekend, whether it be on land or sea. Again, this year they are putting in motion a partnership established 2 years ago with the Bermuda Regiment, the Reserve Police, the Parks Department, and other agencies. Superintendent James Howard explains.
Over the last few years, we have received some very positive feedback in relation to us partnering with the Bermuda Regiment, Parks Department, the Bermuda Reserve Police, and other agencies during this period. This partnership will continue, and that's to ensure that all venues for all major events are safe for all of us to party and have a good time. We will continue to use CCTV throughout the island proactively. There will also be extra CCTV set up by a private contractor at the St. George's Cricket Club, which will be monitored by both security and the Bermuda Police. I would also like to remind the public that there will be some road closures and parking restrictions in the St. George's area. We will do our best to keep this to a minimum. As many of us are aware, locals and visitors alike take to our beaches and the water as a form of relaxation and fun over the Cup Match holiday. There is always a major increase in water activities, which include the use of jet skis, private-owned vessels, vessels that are hired for rental, and chartered cruises. In partnership with the Bermuda Reserve Police and the Bermuda Regiment, we will increase our visibility of law enforcement on the water. Many, if not all of us, are aware of the Non-Mariners event scheduled for this coming Sunday. This event attracts hundreds of vessels and thousands of spectators. I mention this only to remind the boating public that the Department of Marine and Ports has issued a marine notice to all vessels. The waters of Mangrove Bay from Kings Point to the Watford Bridge on Burrs Island will be restricted to a 5-knot no-wake restriction. Personal watercraft, jet skis, are prohibited from entering the Mangrove Bay area east of Kings Point and the Watford Bridge. To the boating community, please be reminded that your vessels should be registered and carry a current 2015 decal.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
In an effort to make Bermuda's roads safer, and in partnership with Bermuda Police Service and the Bermuda Road Safety Council, DeFon's Broadcasting is launching a safe driving campaign. Complete with thumb bands, come into DeFon's Broadcasting and 94 Reed Street and make the commitment to drive safer and slower for yourself. Your voice could be featured on the radio. Get yourself a thumb band as a reminder of your commitment to drive safer and with fewer distractions. While you're at it, why not get one for someone in your life who also needs a reminder that our roads do not discriminate. They can take anyone's life. Let's drive safe, Bermuda, and arrive alive. Peace and love. Safe journeys.
Junior Minister of National Security, Senator Jeff Barron, feels the police finding teenage males are the most likely to be arrested sends society a message that cannot be ignored.
When you look at the persons arrested, the category, the young persons they're arrested more than any other category. So when you're looking at the quarter two, I referenced the second quarter crime statistics from the police of 2014, and that certainly was something that that we pulled out of that, and we thought, okay, again, speaks to the need of getting to kids at a younger age. And we made it very clear that we can't just rely on an enforcement package to deal with this problem. It's a subculture, and to really deal with a subculture, you need to look at its core, the core issues and why people are joining gangs. So to be able to prevent kids from wanting to join gangs and joining gangs from an age of 10 years old and beyond, I think that's really important, and we're going to continue to do that. And we want to penetrate not only just public schools, all public schools. We want buy-in from private schools as well. It's a Bermuda problem, not a public school problem, not a certain segment problem. It is an entire community problem, and so we want to be able to penetrate as many children as we possibly can.
The 161-year-old America's Cup has joined forces with the 130-year-old Hamilton Princess Hotel in an iconic partnership. The oldest international yacht race in the world has named the Grande Dame of Bermuda its official hotel for the 35th America's Cup, and it will be hosting dignitaries in its newly designed rooms and restaurants while presenting key events for America's Cup spectators at its marina. The Princess has recently undergone a $100 million renovation, and Harvey Sheeler, the commercial commissioner of 35th America's Cup, has described it as a world-class partner. In a turbulent year in which it sold its stake in BTC and saw Logic, one of its companies, merge with Bermuda Cablevision, a company it also owned, the Key Tech Group has announced a net loss of $15.9 million for the current financial year ending March 31st, compared with a loss of $2.1 million in the prior year. In results complicated by the fact that BTC was owned for the first 5 months and Cablevision came on board 7 months ago, the group achieved operating revenues of $66.9 million compared with $39.1 million last year. Operating expenses increased by $31.6 million. And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
It's that time of year when everyone reminisces about the old days, even when two former Cup Match players, Clarence Parfit and Campbell Simons, see each other years later on. One of the first things they discuss is Cup Match.
Really, the talk is so trash. Oh, yeah. The trash starts, and it goes on the park, but it's not nasty stuff. We just talk a lot of nonsense to each other. You wouldn't think we're playing a big match. Because we're talking crap. Especially that day when I nicked Joe Bailey.
Oh, don't even talk about that.
He says, did I hit it? I said, no, I straight through the middle of the bat. I was walking.
He was walking. Scott said, that was what you did. I said, look at his bat. He turned around, oh, excuse me. He turned around and came back. Oh, Lord, I'll never forget that. Oh, they put on 102 after that. I said, look at this. They broke the 10 wicket record.
You know, but we played hard.
Yeah, but it was hard. Yeah, it was hard.
And we had a laugh about it. This sucker was sitting behind me, says, Bet you couldn't hit him for 6. I said, see that tent umbrella? Watch this was going there. And he said, yeah, it wasn't quite there. And Randy, I had my mate Randy all shook up. Randy, I said, come on, Shred. The shy one that messed in the Broadway and like, it didn't bug me, because it was nowhere near me. And frustration got to him quicker than it got to us. Because
he wasn't listening to nobody.
No, he meant bigger than the both shirts.
The International Cricket Council, ICC, announced the squad that include Christian Burgess and Dalray Rollins for Phase 2 of the ICC Americas Cricket Combine that will be held in Indianapolis, USA from September 24th through to the 27th. In announcing the squad, Tom Evans is quoted as saying, "There are plenty of talented players in the Americas region, therefore this selection process was certainly challenging. We attempt to select the best performing players during recent ICC events. However, for those that missed out, the opportunity to be identified during Phase 1 still exists. That is one of the exciting features of the Combine," end quote. Argo Group Gold Cup reigning champion Johnny Bertson has one message to his rivals: be prepared for a repeat. Bertson, the number 10th ranked match racing sailor in the world, is among the stellar group of skippers who've confirmed their entry for the prestigious Argo Group Gold Cup that was scheduled to take place in Bermuda October 6th through 11th and hosted by the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. Entries have also been received from world number 1 Ian Williams of Great Britain, Eric Monin of Switzerland, who's ranked number 3, number 5 ranked Bjorn Henson from Sweden, and America's Cup Team Artemis Racing and SoftBank Team Japan, which will be skippered by Dean Barker of New Zealand, who is a past match racing world champion. Day 2 of the JITIC 2015 Under-16 tennis tournament going on in the Dominican Republic would see Bermuda pair Luke Sterling and Dylan Powell back on the court. Sterling and Powell both did well in the round-robin group matches, with both placing second and qualifying for the main draw. Sterling lost his first-round match in the main draw to a Puerto Rican player in straight sets, 6-2, 6-2. Powell won his first-round match over a Guatemalan player in straight sets, 6-love, 7-6. Sterling and Powell lost their doubles first-round match in straight sets against a Dominican pair, 6-2, 6-4. Members of the Bermuda Cycling Academy continued racing in the Netherlands during Stage 2 of the European Junior Cycling Tour. Stage 2 was a criterium over a 1.8-kilometer course in torrential rain. In Category 4, that covered 14.4 kilometers, and Nico Davis finished 57th, clocking 30.38. Over a 19.8-kilometer distance, Nazari Fox finished 59th, competing in the Category 5, clocking a time of 37.10. Finishing 63rd overall with a distance of 25.2 kilometers, in Category 6 was Micah Cook with a time of 43.21. Malik Joel finished 67th, and Ben Edwards finished 69th, competing in Category 7 over a 28.8-kilometer distance. Joel clocked a time of 49.03, while Edwards clocked 49.08. Dylan Hill finished 63rd, clocking 58.01, and Zion Dolan finished 103rd with a time of 101.10, competing in the New England category over a distance of 39.6 kilometers. Jasmine Halkus finished first in the under-9 age group at the Tremere Triathlon in Canada. Halkus not only finished first out of 28 girls in the age group, but was 5th overall out of 63 boys and girls. Bermuda also entered a relay team into the event, a 2 boys, 2 girls relay team, which competed over a 250-meter swim, 6.6 kilometer bike, and 1.6 kilometer run for each individual. Bermuda's team consists of juniors Tyler Smith and Erica Hawley, while youth age group competitors Rebecca Harrison and Alex Pilgrim. The group finished 18th out of 30 teams. Elizabeth Parsons and Sam Waymeyer were taking part in the Optimus International Junior Golf Championships yesterday in Florida. Parsons endured a tough day, shooting opening round 15 over par 87, and she ended the day tied 99th. Wehmeyer is tied 58th after shooting an opening round 6 over par 78. Bermuda will make a return to the Rugby Town Sevens in Colorado later next month. The tournament will run from August 14th through the 16th. The yet-to-be-named Bermuda National Sevens team have been drawn in Pool B alongside Glendale Raptors, Stars Rugby Sevens, and Upright Rugby Rogues. I'm Earl Basden reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Cup match Thursday and Friday, July the 30th and 31st, there will be sunny periods on Thursday, a few showers late afternoon through the night. Winds will be southwesterly and light, increasing west-southwesterly light to moderate by evening. We're expecting a high near 86 and a low near 76. And for Friday, it will be partly cloudy. Winds will be west-southwesterly, light to moderate, backing southwesterly in the evening. We're expecting a high near 87 and a low near 78. This weather report is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thank you for watching VSB News Online for Wednesday, July the 29th. I'm Charles Webb. Wish you all a very, very happy Cup match.